1. The father of Belisarius's wife, a lady whom I have mentioned in my former books, was, and so was her grandfather, a charioteer, exhibiting that trade in Constantinople and Thessalonica. Her mother was one of the wenches of the theatre, and she herself from the first led an utterly wanton life. Acquainted with magic drugs used by her parents before her, she learned how to use the arts of her trade, and became the wedded wife of Belisarius, having already borne many children. Now she was unfaithful as a wife from the start, but was careful to conceal her indiscretions by the usual precautions. Not from any awe of her spouse, for she never felt any shame at anything, and fooled him easily with her deceptions, but because she feared the punishment of the Empress. For Theodora hated her, and had already bared her teeth. But when that queen became involved in difficulties, she won her friendship by helping her, first to destroy Silverius, as shall be related presently, and later to ruin John of Cappadocia, as I have told elsewhere. After that she became more and more fearless, and casting all concealment aside, abandoned herself to the winds of desire. There was a youth from Thrace in the house of Belisarius, Theodosius by name, and of the Eunomian faith by descent. On the eve of his expedition to Libya, Belisarius baptized this boy in holy water, and received him in his arms as a member of the family, welcoming him with his wife as their son, according to the Christian rite of adoption. And Antonina not only embraced Theodosius with reasonable fondness as her son by holy word, and thus cared for him, but soon, while her husband was away on his campaign, became wildly in love with him, and out of her senses with this passion shook off all fear and shame of God and man. She began by enjoying him secretly at first, but then by consorting with him in the presence of the male servants and waiting maids, for she was now possessed by passion, and openly overwhelmed with love, could see no hindrance to its consummation. Once in Carthage, Belisarius caught them in the very act, but allowed himself to be deceived by his wife. Finding the two in an underground room, he was very angry, but she said, showing no fear or attempt to keep anything hidden, "I came here with the boy to bury the most precious part of our plunder, where the Emperor will not discover it." So she said, by way of excuse, and he dismissed the matter as if he believed her, even as he saw Theodosius's belt somewhat immodestly unfastened. For so bound by love for the woman was he, that he preferred to distrust the evidence of his own eyes. As her folly progressed to an indescribable extent, those who saw what was going on kept silent, except one slave, Macedonia by name. When Belisarius was in Syracuse, as the conqueror of Sicily, she made her master swear solemnly never to betray her to her mistress, and then told him the whole story, presenting as witnesses 2 slave boys attending the bedchamber. When he heard this, Belisarius ordered one of his guards to deal with Theodosius, but the latter learned of this in time to flee to Ephesus. For most of the servants, inspired by the weakness of the husband's character, were more anxious to please his wife than to show loyalty to him, and so betrayed the order he had given.